Hello and welcome, my comrades, to my analysis of my Mario Maker 2 level. Now, this alone, independently, may feel like a weird video, just I'm uploading all of a sudden, right? But if you looked at my City Escape as Peak Sonic game design, you may be able to see where I'm coming from. I had just gotten done analyzing City Escape as a level, through its functional quality and being able to teach the player a bunch of things, how the game works, all the different kinds of ways that the player can choose different paths, that kind of stuff. It's aesthetical quality. Aesthetical isn't a word, but see, the whole point of language is communicating to you the point, and I think if I say aesthetical quality, you guys get the point, so it did its work, it did its function, So here, I'm going to do a breakdown of my own level, an analysis of my own level, going through it live, no script whatsoever. Because a part of the problem of the City Escape video that I made is that the entire thing is on script. Now, everything is organized like that, however, that is not the way that people experience a level. You don't experience a level knowing everything about the level beforehand. And granted, I do know everything about the level here, but what I meant is you don't prepare your thoughts as you're playing through a level. I'm not sure if that sentence made a lot of sense, but I have a feeling you guys will get the point as I go through this live, not on script. I had a conversation with a good friend earlier who had some criticisms of my level, and some things that can be improved, some things that were pretty good, and I'm going to do that same thing here, where I'm going to give my own criticisms as if this was someone else's level, how I would expect a new player to see this level, and I highly recommend you play this level first, instead of coming back here, because if I were to do this first, right, and you were able to see all the analysis, then you might play the level and think, oh, that's what it was, right? So I highly recommend, if you have Mario Maker 2, play this level first, come back, and then I'm going to give my guess on some of the thoughts you might have had playing the level. Maybe think about what the thoughts you had, maybe write them down, who knows, and we'll see how accurate I was, and if I'm maybe a terrible game designer after all. Now, this was my first Mario Maker level in terms of actually trying to make one. I had Mario Maker for the Wii U, but my Wii U is just gathering dust in the closet. It's a really good dust collector, by the way. And after all the games got ported, all the games I liked anyways. And this is my first one where I'm really trying. I thought of all the different ways I could get something going here, and this was my first attempt. It is called Manor, and you can find the code on the community tab of my channel or the description. Now, why did I pick Super Mario World? Well, because Super Mario World has the best aesthetics out of every other choice here. Now, Super Mario Bros., I can respect it, it's OG, it's original, but let's just be real here, look at Mario, just look at the guy. How can you, I'm sorry man, I can use him and whatever, everything looks fine, it's just, no. I'm sorry for dissing Super Mario Bros. Like that, but everything here just looks way better. Super Mario Bros. 3, actually not that popular amongst my friends. They don't think this looks that good. And I'm just sitting here are you crazy, dude? Look at this. It looks so, I don't think, at least from the games I've seen, nothing looks quite like Super Mario Bros. 3. I know that there are other games that are platformers that are on the same system as it, but there's just something different about it. Now, Super Mario World, no, hold on, I have to get to the other ones first. Alright, New Super Mario Bros. U. I kind of have a problem with this one in Mario Maker, and it's a shame because a lot of levels are made in this format, and I feel like that's because this is the format that most people have played last. Because New Super Mario Bros. Is constantly being updated with New Super Mario Bros. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, a million, repeating the same kind of concepts and ideas. I will shamelessly say that if you've seen my Super Setting Sunshine, or what was it, the Isle Delfino's Culture, I renamed the title on the video, you'll know that I kind of have a distaste for the New Super Mario Bros. Series because it just reuses the same worlds over and over again, and the worlds don't really feel unique from one another, and I don't feel like I got an experience that was that much different from the last. Whereas Super Mario Sunshine, yada yada. You can go and watch the video if you want to hear more about that. But regarding this, I think people use this one the most because of wall jumping. It's the only one with wall jumping aside from Super Mario 3D World. And this one has the little hover mechanic, which makes it good for speedrun levels, which people are huge fans of, and those little Kaizo levels, right? Which are this one in Super Mario World, because Super Mario World Kaizo was a thing. Now, The reason why I'm not too fond of this is because of the animations. I feel they're fine and whatever, but let me give an example. Maybe I can make something real quick to kind of give you guys an example of why it's hard for me to get invested into this. Now, what I'm about to show you, hold on, let me see if I got that right in the first try. No, I didn't. Now, what I'm about to show you is kind of more of a hitbox thing. Now, oh gosh, I just really can't get it. Because I had a problem where Mario's hat, like, grazes things. And it feels like I should be hitting something. I am doing a terrible demonstration at, like, getting my point across. I just make this... Alright, anyways. Let's just pretend that wasn't there. I'm not cutting anything out here. We gotta keep all these mistakes in. Oh, jeez. Let's... I'll erase it out. But my main problem with... Whoops. My main problem with the new Super Mario Bros. U thing is that the hitboxes feel a little wonky, and I feel like I get hit by things that I really shouldn't be getting hit by. It kind of, if any of you have played Touhou before, Touhou is a game, it's a bullet hell, where the boss is normally on the top of the screen, and they're shooting massive amounts of bullets down at you, and the actual character that you are controlling, if it's hit by one of the bullets, it'll like hit you and go past you, and it will not hurt you. That's because the hitbox is actually really tiny, and it's in the middle of your character. That's what New Super Mario Bros. U Mario feels like at times, and I feel like I just slip off things. I feel like Mario just kind of clips into things and I'm not exactly sure where the hitbox is, and I just don't like the art style of it as much as Super Mario Worlds, which I feel is practically timeless. I can play... I wish Nintendo would just go back and just make a whole nother game Super Mario World style again. That would be fantastic. This is just great. There can be improvements, but it's whatever. I forgot to talk about, Oh no, never mind. Super Mario 3D World, I am not a fan of this game that much. I really appreciate it as a multiplayer game. I think it's probably more fun as a multiplayer game than the new Super Mario Bros. Series, which I feel like thought about multiplayer after the fact. By the way, I know this video is getting a little off topic, but just stick with me here. I swear this will all kind of fit into my game design philosophy. Now, Super Mario, I'm making this sound like way more interesting than it actually is. Jeez. Super Mario 3D World, I feel like had multiplayer in mind as it was designing its levels, whereas New Super Mario Bros., I'm sure if you and any other person has played New Super Mario Bros., we can all agree, you were thrown multiple times, and it was probably fun the first time, but it was probably annoying a bunch of other times. Whereas in Super Mario 3D World, there's a wide open environment, and the camera is actually pretty good. Again, it just reuses so many assets that I've already seen, and again, that's why I appreciate Sunshine for spicing things up. Now we went back to Super Mario World. Alright, so we're in Super Mario World here. Now let's get to the actual level. I might skip ahead if I die or whatever because I'm bad. Alright, so I chose the sky area. I was thinking of a pirate ship at first. The main thing that got me on that was I was thinking of Kid Icarus Uprising, and if you haven't played Kid Icarus Uprising, shame on you. It's on the 3DS, go get it right now. It's made by Masahiro Sakurai, same person, creator of Smash Brothers. If you don't know his name, I don't even know what you're doing on this channel. Alright, but anyways, in Kid Icarus Uprising, there is a chapter called the Space Pirate Ship, and I was thinking of something like that, but then I just ended up going to Sky, so I'm like, whatever. Now, at the beginning of this level, you're able to see 3 1-up mushrooms right next to a locked door, and that kind of... What I imagine is the first thing players will think is, oh, there's a key, right? There's no red coins in the top right, and if you don't know already, the way that you get a key is normally by collecting all the red coins, and then the key attaches to Mario. But here, there are no red coins, so you can notice that the door right there, you need a key somewhere in the level, and there's no red coins, so it's probably in a secret place. Although I don't expect like everyone to get that. Also, the timer is really generous. Now, this place, as I said before, is called Manor. And the kind of aesthetic of it isn't really recognized in this part, but it'll be recognized more later on. Now you're able to see, I'm going to be saying these words a lot, so I need to figure out what the heck these blocks are. By the way, I'm not really a fan of the UI here. I think the first Mario Maker was a bit better with it. This one kind of looks cooler, but it's just... It was so much easier when everything was on one screen and in rows. I get what they were trying to do here. It's just, Okay, dotted line blocks, that's what they're called. Anyways, so you're able to see a few dotted line blocks on the left, on the right, and the direction that players are probably going to move is to the right, you know, like in a regular Mario level. So I was thinking, alright, so I'll move them to the right, but they're gonna see a wall and they're gonna be like, what the heck is this wall? What do I have to do? And then it's like, oh, you have to go to the left, right, alright. Now, these cannonballs are moving very slow, so if anyone gets hit by here, they're probably not that good at the game. But it's okay, because like they could try again. It's the thing's over there. You could start over. You're fine. You're fine. Now, part of the problems with these cannonballs, by the way, is that they shoot at complete random. And what I mean by random isn't that there's no pattern to them. What I mean is how fast you get onto the screen and show each of them will determine what order they fire in. So for example, if I like run onto screen here, like this, you'll notice, just try to memorize this. I know it might be a little hard, but let's try the one on the right. So you'll see that the one in the middle and the one in the bottom here, I'll point them out for you. These two are firing at the exact same time, but this one's out of sync. However, if I just start it right here, you'll notice that they're all firing in sync now. Does that make sense? I sure hope so. And that's kind of the problem with this level. First of all, that's one of my honest criticisms of my own level, where when you walk up or whether you run up, it really changes depending on the player, and it's going to make it a bit more difficult depending on who's playing at what speed. And I can't really account for that. So that might get some people killed, and I feel like a way I could have counteracted that maybe is instead of having all like 3 separate cannonballs, I could have had one huge one. Who knows? I could have had like one big bullet bill that follows you. That could have had the same effect that these do, because this is kind of overwhelming, and I can imagine it could be even more overwhelming if they're all shooting in random. So yeah, they're out of sync right here. However, if I go on screen all at the same time, you'll notice, bam, they're all in sync. So that's kind of a problem that I feel like that was could have been fixed. Now, I have a little bit of a problem with the scenery here. Now, the background's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. So, little dev secret we got here is these walls, and it's something that I've been wanting to do, and it took me a while to actually figure it out. I'm a little shameless in that. Alright, so right here, these are just walls just for aesthetics. Now, these are things where on the top of it, you can stand on it. However, and I'll show you, you might have caught a glimpse of that like right around here, but I will switch. Navigating this through the Joy-Cons, by the way, is a pain. I have a stylus specifically made for the Switch that I purchased just for Mario Maker levels and for Smash Brothers Stage Builder. So it makes it way better. I highly recommend it. I might even put that in the description just in case you were looking for something. It works very good and very well, I mean, and it has a lot of little caps. I swear I'm not sponsored. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we got the semi-solid platform. It is one of these. You can see here. I will change. How do I change it? Oh, there we go, right? So that's all these are. So I just made really big background things like this, right? And then you could jump onto these. I could just place Mario, plop him right here. But with the way I designed it, you can't get on top of them because the very top of them is covered up by the clouds. So it is purely for aesthetics. And I think that was pretty cool, except when it's not. And when it's not is when it covers up things that are colored lightly like it. The cannonballs don't have this issue. They're black and white. It's very easy to see the threat. But the fire bar here, this isn't a fire bar, I'm bad. I totally forgot what this thing is. It just shoots fire out, alright? The metal here, it blends in with the background and it's right next to the cloud. So I can absolutely imagine a player just jumping up here, not seeing that, and then getting grilled alive. I should have gotten grilled alive right there, but whatever. I was about to be medium rare, just how I like it. Now, I don't know how I would have counteracted this. Maybe, just maybe, I could have gotten rid of the background around here a little bit, just so players were able to see this. By the way, if you're confused what this black part means here, there are 2 different kinds of fire bars. There's the one that shoots immediately and then goes off, and then there's the one that waits a little bit and then goes off. This is so you can have fire bars that are... I'm sorry, I keep saying fire bars, but that's not what they... Oh no, what did I do to it? Okay. I really should have researched this beforehand. My apologies. Let's go find out what the heck these suckers are. They are called burners, that's all they are. It's so burners can go out of sync, because there are times... Actually, I'm gonna spoiler the... No, I'm not. I'll just wait. I swear there's an explanation for that. Now, I would have put the background a little bit darker so you can actually see the metal box and you can see what's coming into your inevitable doom. Now, to my effect, there is, or, you know, with my design here, when you're jumping up these little 1 blocks, because they kind of halt your movement a little bit, you know? You can see the fire. If anyone gets hit by that, yeah, it is a little bit my fault, but I feel like it is a player mistake at that point. Now, afterwards, you can see the little ice crystals, and if you didn't know already, the ones that wobble are the ones that can actually fall. The ones that are dark normally do not fall, so you are completely fine in that aspect. Now, you could just kind of do this. I actually have no idea why I put this here. Well, I mean, that's not exactly true. I put it here to shield you, but what I was thinking of, like an alternate path, right? So you could just whoosh and then jump over there, or like do a short hop there, but Mario's short hop it's not short enough at all. Like, you have to go down here, so I have no idea what the point of me even putting this here was in the first place. There's absolutely no incentive for players to go right here. What I would have done, and here I'll even edit it right here. I wish you could edit levels. Maybe it would have shown like some version of the level or whatever. I can't really add on things because then this happens. Oh wait, no, never mind. I should have put something like right here. Or maybe, I don't know, a 1-up or something right here for players to have a reason to take the danger. But as it is right now, there is absolutely no reason, so that is bad level design. We have something right on the exit here, which I think is a bit fair. And here's one of my favorite parts of the level, because of what it teaches you about my philosophy for how to tackle this level. Now, these coins here feel a bit random, I admit, but again, there's a point. There's an aesthetic. It makes sense. Trust me. Now, when you walk into this room, you have absolutely no threat staring you in the face, and I mean it. There is absolutely nothing that can kill you in this room as long as you stay on the ground. If you jump right now, first of all, there's no reason for you to jump other than get these coins, right? So, what do you do here? Like, when the player runs in here, the first thing they're gonna think about is, oh, door, let's get to it. Oh wait, there's a freaking wall made out of bullet bills. You know, bullet bill blasters, right? Bill blasters. Now, what you have to do is use your head, use that old noggin of yours, and go, man, I just have to hit these little, you have to hit those little blocks. They're called blocks. Nice. Anyways, you have to hit these blocks in order to make the bullet bill go lower. It's amazing, right? Now, you could hit all of these. However, that makes the path actually way more difficult than it needs to be. First of all, you just made it, if you did that, you just made it so now the bottom path contains an obstacle, which sucks. You didn't need to do that. Like, look at that. You already opened up the way right here. You're completely fine. You can just do it like this, in fact. And what's cool is if you don't hit the other two, only 2 bullet bills spawn. And the places that they spawn at aren't really that threatening. You can go safely to the... I'm bad at the game. Trust me, I'm bad at the game. It wasn't anything else. You can safely access the top area, and only 2 bullet bills are going at a time instead of 3, because I believe the middle bullet bill is covering up the first one, so the first one isn't able to fire to the right direction. However, it is able to fire to the left direction, so that doesn't really matter. And that's pretty cool. It kind of shows you that if you want to get through this level, you gotta use your noggin, and there are a few things that are gonna seem a little bit difficult at first, but if you take your time, you'll be able to figure them out. Now, here is a terribly placed item box. It's a 1-up. Now, if you're playing a 1-up, or I'm sorry, if you're playing the level regularly, like if I were to, like put this in as a code or whatever, and then start going through it, there is absolutely zero incentive to get a 1-up. The only point that you would want to go out for a reward is to complete the level, and you don't need a 1-up to complete the level. You would either need this to be a red coin, a key, maybe a mushroom, a power-up, but for 1-ups, they're mainly meant for endless challenges or whatever, so the only point I put this here for was for players to just be like, hey, I did it. So, now we got the next portion here, which I will platform up. Now, this is a problem that one of my friends pointed out while criticizing the level, which is, and I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you guys have this problem, but for 1-block jumps in any of the Mario things, I think, I'm not going to test it here because then that's just going to be a little bit of annoying, or a little bit of an annoyance. If you just try tapping the jump button like I am right now, so I'll just tap it on the microphone real quick. Like that. If you do not hold the button down and you just keep tapping it, you cannot make 1-block jumps. You can, however, make it if you move back a little bit and then jump, as you can see right here. Whoop, as you can see right here. But when you're rubbing up against the Bill Blaster and you're jumping, then Mario will not be able to make it across. However, if you hold down the A button, even if you're rubbing up against the Bill Blaster, you will 100% make it across. I have no idea why they designed it like that, but that's a place that one of my friends got stuck. And it's something that I did not intend whatsoever, but even if I did intend it, even if I did intend for these 1-block jumps, this is a good place to practice. If you realize that you weren't getting it right here, then you could just keep doing this over and over again. The Bill Blaster won't even decide to shoot. It's like, oh crap, man, this Mario guy is all over me. I better not shoot. I gotta get out of here, but I'm stuck. What the heck? And it won't shoot at you at all. So it's pretty cool. So even then, the design's all right. So we go into this door here. You can see the mushrooms teasing you again, reminding you, hey, there might be a part with the key or something. You know what I mean? There might be a part with the key. And whatever, it's whatever. So we got the dotted blocks and whatever. And we've got, this is what I also think is pretty cool here, the little spike, which prevents you from running straight to the right. This is kind of like what I did with, oh, the coins? I must have already gotten the coins, jeez. This is kind of similar to this portion level here, which halts your movement to the right and peters you, not really peters you, but provokes you into moving into a different direction or using your head. And that's the same thing as here, where your path is blocked off, you have to take a different direction, and we're going back to what started all these examples in this escapade for finding examples. Right here, you have to take a different direction, you can't go this way. So it's showing you, hey, you might want to slow down, although I can totally accept that players won't even think this through. Kind of like, again, kind of like the City Escape video I made, there were a lot of comments saying, hey, I didn't know that this was in City Escape, I thought this was really cool and I really appreciate it. Now that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. I am sure there are many people who are going to play through this level, and if you already played through this level before I started recording this video, or before you start watching the video, I guess I should say, for you future people, then you would be able to kind of see where I'm on the mark about things and where I'm not. Because when I say, hey, players might notice this, and you're like, I didn't notice that, then I'm just sitting here like, well, you're right, I'm bad. Anyways. We got two obstacles which are fairly obvious here, but the obstacles being obvious isn't really the point of this section. The whole point is for you to see the dotted lines in the background. Now the dotted lines are meant to represent the blocks, which, this has been hyped up for a lot of this section of the level, are going to come true and you're going to have to platform them. Now, these coins are just meant to lead you down, it's nothing really special. Now you can absolutely, right here, get stuck on this portion. And I accept that many people probably died here. In fact, if I were to play through the level regularly and die here, there will probably be multiple X's. However, just like that first section from earlier with the 3 bullet bills, this bottom row does not hurt you whatsoever. There is no point for you to jump. You can stay here for as long as you want, given the timer is not at like 10 seconds or 100 seconds or whatever. And you can observe your surroundings. You see that there's a piece, that's not a P-switch, gosh, the on and off block, I remembered it. You can see the on-off block right there. You can see that there were a bunch of dotted line blocks all over the place. You can see the little maze-like portion, and you can kind of telegraph what you're gonna do in advance before you have to avoid all these bullet bills. Now, again, I could totally accept that most people are just gonna do this. Right, and just, they might get stuck, and again, this is a bad level design. Don't take this after me. These bullet bills fire out of order. Again, it's the same thing. If I were to spawn right here, let me spawn my character right here, all the bullet bills will fire all at once, making it a very easy wave-like motion where it's just like whoosh, like that, right? It's not that hard, but then they'll start firing out of sync. And what I mean, I don't mean start firing out of sync like it changes all of a sudden. I mean, if you're starting to run in here like this, you'll see that? Look, now they're gonna start just doing that, and it's a different formation every time. Some players are gonna get that, some players are gonna get the wavy motion, some players are gonna get these 2 bullet bills on the top shooting, and then these 2 on the bottom are gonna shoot right after. Yeah, like that, see? Do you see what happened just there? If you wait a little bit on the bullet bill blaster, or the bill blaster I should just say, then what's going to happen is they're going to start shooting out of order now. So now it's a completely different obstacle than I had intended. And that's bad design, because this isn't what I had intended for. I should have had a different obstacle that was coming at you, maybe on a conveyor belt, probably? Or, there was something in here that I totally could have used. And I was even thinking about it, but I'm like, nah, I want to use these instead. It was the track. I totally could have had maybe a saw on a track or something, or some kind of enemy on a track, and that would have had the exact design I wanted, because it would have been the same for every single player. But as it stands right now, every single player is going to get a different kind of challenge, depending on how they jump or how they transverse this area. Not that. Let's try that again. Like, if a player is, like, kind of looking around here, they're like, I'm not really sure, what the heck? And then they're like, alright, now I'm going to try doing the challenge. This is what they're left with. Like, this is just kind of a hassle to go through. Like, how the heck are they supposed to, you know what I mean? It's just totally, it's just not fair. It's just flat out not fair. That's why some people are going to have X's here, some people will not. Now, let's just assume that you get what I had intended, or let's just say that the player takes the optimal path, which is just run right through and then just wait for a moment, right? And that is, you get kind of like a wave here. Now that top bullet bill, again, and design, because that bullet bill shouldn't even be at this section yet. You can actually force yourself into a wall of bullet bills and get killed, but whatever. Now, I'm going to go through the section. There is an open spot for you to jump right up. Thank you, Mario, for dying and moving up a couple blocks to try to show the class, but you know. So, right here. So when you'll notice, when all these bullet bills launch, you can just jump right in here. You can bounce off of them. Doesn't really matter. For some reason, the top bullet bill is out of sync. This is what I'm talking about. Now, you have multiple options here. You can go down below and then move right next to the bottom bullet bill, or bill blaster like this. And as you know, the way that bill blasters work, they will not shoot if you're right next to them. So you can just kind of do that, right? Or you can do it the way that I prefer doing it, which is another one block jump. You have to hold the A button down in order to get up there. Where you can just do it like this, and you can just drop down. Or you can just hop on the bullet bill for extra bonus points or anything. So I want to give players a choice. Now, this part here, not really much of a struggle. You're probably not going to get hit by this bullet bill right here. Unless you're me. It was just a test, guys. Alright, it was just a test. Jeez. Gosh, I have to go through this whole section again. I gotta make sure I don't die, even as like an example or whatever. Now, you get up here, and again, you're given a chance to observe your surroundings. You're given a chance to see the obstacle. And you were already given a chance to see the obstacle beforehand, because you were shown the dotted lines before you went to the on-off switch. Now, this part is not very difficult at all. It's actually fairly easy. You can just wait right here. If you wait right here, then you're punished, because you'll fall right down there, or whatever. This part, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, because you hit the on and off switch, this part has been unlocked for you, and again, this part is out of sync, not what I intended, yada yada. And I still have the same complaint for the previous burner as I do this one, except something I do not like is this thwomp here. I'm gonna try, by the way, I'm gonna try refraining from going into the make mode every single time, because if I do, and this is a flaw of Mario Maker 2, if I go into the maker mode and then I go back here, it's going to reset the on and off switch to its default position, which I believe is on. And these blocks here, the dotted line blocks, the red ones will be filled in and the blue ones will not. However, how I want it right now is the blue one's filled in and the red one's not. So, and I can't really change the default, so that's just kind of how it is. So I'm going to try doing this live. Now, we have the burner here, which is meant to stop you. The whole point, the entire point of me putting the burner here, other than it looking cool, is to slow you down so you see the thwomp on the right. That is the point. I could have had some kind of cloud here or something to prevent you from running in. I just thought the burner looked cooler, okay? Jeez. Now, I'm bad. See, look, did you see that? See how everything swapped? Alright, so I'm gonna... Maybe I can, I'm gonna put a dev block here real quick, guys, alright? I'm gonna... And I can't put it right here, because then I grab onto that, which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. I'll just grab this little dev block and place it right... I don't know, I'll place it like... I have to place it at the bottom of the staircase. Otherwise things get a little out of whack. Bam, right there. Alright, we'll just make our way back up here. Okay, so the thwomp... I have the same kind of complaint for the thwomp as everything else that is light colored. Now the thwomp is gray, but I can totally see players not being able to notice this thwomp in their first playthrough. And what's kind of unfair about this section is this feels like a part of the level that you can just drop down and get the spring, right? But it's not. You will die if you try going through just regularly. I'm sure I don't even need to give an example. Like, look at the thwomp. Even if I start running, like, he just goes down. Like, that's impossible. You just have to go down like this and then grab the spring. Now, getting back up is that... Actually, hold on. Reset everything I said there. Let's pretend... for a moment. Oh geez, I can't believe I forgot this. Oh, but you didn't see that, alright. So let's pretend you went up through the red blocks there. this block isn't here. I just put this as a dev block, remember that. Let's say you didn't go up this blue path, because you thought to yourself, oh wait, this red path is open. Huzzah! Let's continue on with the level. You'll notice, oh, what the heck? How in the world do I get through this wall here? Like, this wall looks like where I'm supposed to go, right? Maybe it's up that pipe, but you'll notice you can't get up the pipe either, until you look at the top left corner of the screen, which has the spring, which allows you to enter the pipe by placing it right down here, right? You cannot, under any circumstances, go past this on-off blocks, the dotted line blocks, without hitting that thing down there. And that thing down there needs to be through that pipe. You know why? Because you can't even enter in that place. Look, now that blue wall, it's no longer there, but you can't get in there, so you have to go through that blue pipe. That's how it works. I hope that explanation was sufficient. Anyways, so this is on our journey to get the spring, and I'm sure players can figure that out. I don't think that's really that much of an issue. It's just, hey, oh, spring, let's go get it. And I hope it's not something that people find too annoying or whatever. So you grab the spring, it's cool. I made this little divot here because that... And this is actually good design, alright? Finally, good design. Well, I thought a lot of this was pretty good design, but I can accept it sometimes not even being that fun to go through. But you saw that cannonball, right? I put this little divot so players wouldn't get stuck in a stupid situation. Pat me on the back, pat me on the back. Alright, so. Alright, oh, hold on. We gotta move all the way back down here. That didn't happen, it didn't happen. It's okay. Now I have to wait for the burner. Oh my gosh. Okay. And now we're back here. So that didn't happen. We're gonna wait for the burner, and then we make our way back down. No! Oh! I'm bad at my own level. I'm not making any cuts. I'm not, like, this is a whole... You're getting the whole thing. You're getting the whole package here, guys. Maybe, okay. So you can spin on the swamp. That's just like a different path that you can take for that. It's whatever. You can't spin on it when you have the spring, though, which is a little sad. And I'm not going to run through that until I know for sure I'm not going to die. Oh my gosh, I'm sick of dying in my own level when I'm just trying to showcase it and understand, or not understand, but explain how I thought things through. Now, this is the first part of the level where you kind of get a hint. Hey, is this whole thing mirrored? Because you'll notice that the fire bar, the bridge or whatever, they're the same on both sides. The coins are the same on both sides or whatever, and the blocks are the same on both sides for the most part, right? Now, it's not perfectly mirrored. It's pretty dang close, but it's not perfectly mirrored. And it's something that you would notice when you go into the level, or I'm sorry, when you're about to play the level, because when you enter in the code for a level, it shows you the whole level there. Which is cool, but I feel like it spoils some surprises, but it's whatever. Now you take this spring, go up into the pipe, and you enter in probably, I'd argue the hardest part of the level, which is this midsection here. Now this is a completely vertical section, and it's here where the whole mirror thing comes into full effect. You can see all the fire bars, which are meant to make you slow down, and it's just regular challenge, right? You have the complete difference between the hard part and the easy part. And you know right now, you're on the easy part, buddy. Because you have these you have these slow-moving black cannonballs moving to the right, and then you have the very fast-moving red cannonballs. Now, this is pretty easy, you just move along. This item box is meant to reward players who hit it, and I know that's like an obvious thing, but I meant it rewards players further on in the section. So if you remember that you hit this, then you will get rewarded for remembering or even seeing it, because look, it blends in, and that I don't think this was a spoiler alert. I don't think the developer intended this that much. It blends in with the land here. But if you remember it, then hey, you get rewarded later on. So yeah, that's cool. Now, there are cannonballs I shoot here, but in order for players to not get totally cheesed by them, I had it be an uphill slope. So it's just like, okay. And it stops you right there, so you can't just jump over it regularly. The whole point is that you look up at the clouds, and I'm bad. Don't worry about me, though. I'm not gonna put another dev block in. Oh god, you guys are seeing spoilers. You're seeing spoilers, okay. Now, the whole point here is that you're supposed to jump over it and jump onto the clouds, where, again, you can look around, gauge for safety, any vantage points, all that kind of stuff. And this isn't really that hard, just a one block jump. Alright, cool. Now, there's a 10 coin thing there. I'm not sure why I put that there. I guess I just thought it'd be cool. And you're given multiple routes here. Now, you can see right here that it is entirely possible for you to, and I'll just do this section here myself. It is entirely possible for you to do that, and then go to the falling, the donut block. I'll just call them the donut blocks, right guys? I'm not bad. Hold on. I know they're called that, right? I've been calling them that all my life. Ay. Donut block. There we go. I just wanted to make sure I didn't make up something as a child or whatever. Okay. So, the donut block here, yeah, getting to this, you can just take the regular route that I just did back there. You can even take the spring to jump off of, kind of like a speedrun thing. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. You could do this. If you're not bad, and again, the randomness of some of those things is a little bit frustrating, but it's whatever. Mario, dude, you're outside of my cursor range. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's move back down. You could do that, but then there's an opposite section here where or not an opposite, but an alternate pathway here, where you go, I cannot reach the donut blocks. I would like to go this section. However, I cannot, for my jump is too small. And that's very sad for Mario. However, you can use the donut blocks to go back down, and you can dump it. Whoa! You cannot be bad. You cannot be bad, right? And you can go up here, and voila! You get the vine. And if you stay there too long in that block, then you get utterly zipped. So this is kind of like an alternate pathway. I really appreciate Cityscape's alternate pathway whole thing, and I'm like, man, I want some alternate pathways at my level. I'm making some of those, even though they're not exactly good. Now, something about this level you may have noticed is that there's a lot of waiting involved. And the funny part is, I don't even like waiting that much. I like being able to go into the obstacle as quick as possible, and I like if the player is good enough and has good enough reflexes, they can get past almost any obstacle almost instantly. Geez. That might be because I'm an impatient person, but I just feel like waiting is kind of a lazy way to like artificially lengthen time or gameplay time or whatever, because it's just like, oh wow, that was easy, all I had to do was wait or whatever. But with this, I feel like it's different because you are observing your surroundings and you're trying to choose the best route, and you could go whenever you want for most of these things, but it's a better idea to wait. Now, the burners from earlier, you absolutely have to wait for them sometimes, but again, you don't have to go that route. Now, the burners at the very beginning of the level that block off certain paths, yeah, you have to wait, and I admit, like, I feel like I should have changed that. So let's go down here. This is to make it so, that up there, hold on, I'm gonna bring Mario back up there. This is to make it so if this thing was following close behind you, you would notice, oh crap, I can't avoid it. I have to avoid it right here. Here, like, let me give an example. Like, if you're going right here, and then you go in here like, oh god, right? If that's way too close, it's like, oh, I can't jump there. I better not go on this just yet. So it kind of creates, again, an intelligence thing where it's like you have to spatial relations it. You have to go, whoa, that's coming at me. I better zip, zap, zippity-bop out of there. Again, some random coins. I swear it'll all make sense in a moment. You fall all the way down here. And then we got the section here, and sadly I can't show you. I will place a spring right there as if we had hit it there. It is right inside this block. Let me just add that. Let me scoop that up right there. Let's pretend we hit that spring, or we did hit the iron box from earlier, but I died, so I had to restart it. Now let's pretend the spring is right here, and this fire bar is moving in such a fashion that it's difficult to get up there, but after being brave and going through that fire bar, you know where your reward is? Not a power-up, but yeah, a one-up. I really should have had power-ups in this. Again, one-ups are just a terrible decision for just people regularly going through the level. You know, if this was like a super expert level that somehow made it a super expert level, or people were going through it as a super expert level, expert, or whatever it is, then yeah, people are going to appreciate the one-ups, but I didn't include enough things for regular players, which is kind of frustrating, admittedly. Now we have some random springs here, and this is the easiest section of the whole level. You just kind of chill. Now, this is a part that I hope newer players, I shouldn't say newer players, because I'm acting as if this is actually like a game that I designed, but whatever. Now, I really hope people see this the first time around. This is a very easy part, so you don't even have to pay much attention here. You can kind of fool around. You can see those freaking saws on the right side. Do you see that? Like, that looks hard, you know what I mean? It's like, it's meant to show you, hey, this is what you're in for, you know? Like, this part's easy, but you are just about to get to that hard part over there. And that's the whole, well, I won't say it just yet, and I'm sure you guys have already figured it out, but whatever, I'll just get to the end here. Alright, not the end, but the midway point. Oh, geez, I just can't get out here. Now, there is a midway section right here. Let me just bring myself in there. It's a little weird, but you'll notice, Hey, there's an item box there. And what's in the item box? The key I talked about from earlier. And now the key's our friend. We'll call him Keyboy, spelled B-O-I. Keyboy. Alright. Or Keybo. Alright, so anyways, there is a little part here, which my friend said that he doesn't understand why there's a little gap here. And his attention was drawn to it. He thought there should have been a secret here. I kind of agree. I should have put like a 10 coin thing in here. I don't know why this spot's open. I guess that was just a mistake on my... Oh, geez. That... Did this remind anyone else from like the springs and like Sonic the Hedgehog? The ones that just bring you back and forth. I forgot which one that they have that in. It's probably every single one for 1, 2, or 3. But that's just what that reminded me of. I like this part here. I thought this was kind of a good design, where it shows you, hey, you better get through this quick, and this isn't really that hard. You're given multiple seconds, even if you make a mistake and fall down to like one of the levels. No, not really actually. Oh, jeez. But you can take your time. These note blocks, who cares? Who cares? It's just like, wow, Zoomzyke, this part's so easy. Why is this so easy? But when you get here and let me Gmod V-clip through here real quick. You get to the checkpoint. Now, I wish there was a checkpoint for the first part of this level. However, as I told you before, when you die, well, let me show you what happens when you die. Basically, when you die, it brings these blocks to their default. So, hopefully this makes sense. So, like, if I were to, like, do this and then die, let me just go back over here. And then I get brought back to the checkpoint. And this is what happens. Look, now the blue line, now the blue dotted blocks are completely open. And that is bad, because the whole point of this level is that you had to take this section in order to get to this switch. However, if dying is basically getting to that switch, then that totally defeats the purpose of the section. You can skip this entire section, and it sucks. So I couldn't put a checkpoint down at the log area where you had to first enter into this area, which totally sucked, and I was a little frustrated, and I'm sure some people might get frustrated because this next section is really hard because you have to do it all in one go, which is kind of annoying. And this is the conceit of the level, the mirrored version. You had gone through the entire level one way, and now you have to go through it in reverse. So every part that you went left to right, you now go right to left, and every part you went up to down or down to up, now you go up to down. I'm sorry, now you go down to up to down. And I thought that was a pretty cool, aesthetic, you know what I mean? I feel like it could have made this place feel more like a manor, because I called it a manor, and it doesn't really feel like one. Even, there is a background or whatever, but I feel like if I called it Mirror Castle, Mirror Kingdom, there would be no real difference, or Mirror House, or just Mirror. If I just named it Mirror or whatever, there wouldn't have been that much of a difference, so it's just whatever. Now this section, as you can see, everything is mirrored, and there is a hard version of every single block. So for example, the note block, we have it replaced with the spikes. And the donut springs from earlier, I'm not sure what they're called, the bumpers, they are replaced with the saws. And I thought that was a pretty cool concept to make a level off of, especially my first level. I kind of wanted to go in with a vision, and that's kind of what I nailed my head on. So we got our little spikes here. This can be difficult. I'd probably make this seem a little easier, this jump easier than it is. It can be a little bit bothersome. And trust me, you will probably die throughout a lot of this section, because once you get past this part, you have to go through another hard part, and then you just end all the way back here, because the checkpoints are just weird with the dotted blocks in this game. Ay. Anyways, going through here, you might rush and then get hit, but I believe in you, Now, every part where there's a coin here is where there used to be a donut block. And every part there used to be a donut block, there is now a coin. And you can see that when you compare the two. See, there's coins here. There's donut blocks here. And if you go over here, there's donut blocks here. There's 3 there, right above the spiky boy. And there's 3 coins here. And I didn't really have a good replacement for the... I don't know what that thing is called. I should really educate myself in what the terrains, items, enemies, and gimmicks are. Every single one of them, just so I don't. The skewer. There wasn't really a good replacement for the skewer. So I'm like, hey, I'll put a bunch of ice, and then I'll make them have to, like, not slide into this like that, right? So, this part, oh geez. Oh, that's because I put the spring there. I accidentally hit the undo thing, my bad, geez. So, this part here is where the difficulty comes in. You have to, and this isn't that hard right here. and this is where you kind of teach the player what the mechanic is. Now, granted, I feel like I could have made this a little bit easier, or at least shown people playing this, hey, this is a mechanic that's going to be in the rest of the level, or throughout a big portion of the level. However, I don't think that this is very difficult here. You can see exactly what you're getting yourself into, and if you're, and if you're staying right here, you can observe the entire route, and there's even a resting point along the way. So, look, you can do this, jump here, jump around here, there's even two, like it doesn't really matter. And you have a resting point right here. In fact, it drops you onto it. Now, that aside, by the way, there is also a, let's see, right here. There's an open section right here, which you can just kind of fall into, which again, has no point to it. So, I should have put something there. That's my bad, gosh. Now, this is, okay, this next part I'm not really proud of. So you jump in here, right? And you see the item box, and you're like, oh crap. Man, oh crap, I spoiled the surprise, right? It's like, oh, there's an invisible item box. What's in there? Could it be a star? It's a coin. It's a coin, and this part was like annoying to get through, and you might just do that. It's just like, oh my gosh, Zoom Zyke, why'd you do that? And I apologize to anyone that happens to. I especially apologize if you played this level and then you just watch this video right afterwards, because it's just like, oh no. I don't know why, like, doing it in that order makes it any worse, because it's just like, I could have warned you, but I didn't. Anyways, we got this part right here. Now, this is actually one of my favorite challenges of the level, because I feel like it's completely fair. And when I say fair, I don't mean, like, in a difficulty sense. I mean in the sense that the difficulty is fair. Okay, let me just reset that. The difficulty is fair here, because you see exactly what you're getting yourself into. For example, when you... Oh my gosh, I am just spoiling this whole thing. Oh my gosh. So the resting section, this is what you're dropped onto from the top donut block. You can see what you have to fall onto. You can see it right there. It's right freaking right here. You can see this while you're up there. Oh my gosh. It just keeps clipping Mario to where I don't want him to be. I know that's my fault. So you can see every little obstacle. You've kind of gotten used to how these things fall because you've seen a lot of them. And you can just keep making your way to every single donut block until, oh my gosh, there's a fire bar, right? And then you have to kind of adjust yourself mid-fall. Or you have to just keep jumping on these over and over again because there's nothing above you in order to just keep delaying it until the fire bar goes away. So I'm introducing a new mechanic. I'm introducing a mechanic that you've already seen, which is the fire bar here, because you saw this before, right? I'm introducing that mechanic. Oh, also, you saw that right here, and you also saw it down this pipe here, which was all the way down here, right? So you saw it right there, and you saw it at the beginning of this section, and yeah, you get the point. So you saw that mechanic, and you were avoiding it, and then you were shown this mechanic up here, which is fairly easy, I'd say. And then I combined the two mechanics down here, where it slowly dropped you off, and you can see it. Like, you are given time to acknowledge it. It's right there. And I even give you 2 donut blocks, so even if you fail the first one, you can still jump on the second one, like this. Here, let me show you. Like that. You can just keep doing like this. And it's like, hey, we're chilling, we're good. And then you can just jump onto the next one, and then bam, you're good. However, one problem that a couple of my friends went into, and this is less my issue and more the issue with the actual spikes. One of my friends tried doing this, where they just wanted to be in the middle here. And it worked that time, however, the problem here is the hitboxes with Mario and the spike. Did you see that? Like, hold on, hopefully, can I get back up there? Okay, well, let me show you what he did. So let me just, I'm just trying to make sure his invincibility doesn't, like, make it more safe than it actually is. So they were thinking of doing this, or whatever. And they kept getting hit by the spike, but the way that they were getting hit when I was looking at it was like, it was very pixel perfect. And there were, like, if I were to, here, let me give an example. Okay, see the saw here? Look, I'm not getting hit. You see that? I'm still not getting hit. Even from this, right? However, the spikes, the very tiny ones, are very, very precise. They will hit you, like, right, like here. You know, oh, like right there. Like, they give it absolutely no leeway. Like, you get hit in the hat, that hat's your brain now. And stuff is coming out. Like, it does not, it's just merciless with you on that. So I wish that the spikes weren't designed the way they are. However, as a designer for any Mario Maker level I have, I need to take into account the material I'm working with and ditch this thing next time I get the chance. Alright. So here is another example of something that people will not appreciate. I need a stretch. Jeez. Okay. Okay, so we got a burner here. And we got another fire bar. Now this isn't really easy. I wouldn't really call that part easy right there. It's kind of annoying to get through. And for your troubles, a 1-up. You've already heard my complaint about the 1-up, and it's quite likely you'll just die on the way back down, because that part's just kind of annoying, and it's honestly pointless. I should just change that. It's whatever. Now this part is a bit unfair, and it's because of those cannonballs. What do I call those? Do I just call them cannons? If they're just called cannons, I'm gonna be a little bit upset. Alright, cool. They're called cannons. Of course they're called cannons, Zoomzike, duh. Now this part right here, we have ice that is meant to just make you slip right into the spike. However, there is a very fast cannonball going there. I don't know what those are called. Hold on. Because I know that we already have cannons here, right? But is there... Do we call that something else? Holy crap, how do I switch on the... Okay, there we go. What do we call these? Because it should show me now. No, it's just called a cannon. Alright, so the red cannonballs, or I'm sorry, the red cannons. Jeez, that took me way too long to get right. Now these red cannons, placing them right here, it is kind of mean, because although it is meant to be a mirror of the regular cannon on the left, which was totally fair because of how slow it was going. Here, let me show you again. Look how slow that was. I can go make a sandwich, come back, and it'd still be going. This one right here is practically unfair, because the moment you jump over here, you barely have enough time to react to that, and you might just fall down and hit the spike, and then you have to do this whole section over again, and it's just a pain. I probably would have ditched the ice thing here and just made it regular platform so you don't have to deal with all that crap. Because what happens is this. Players come up here, they're like, oh, there's a spike thing here. I'll jump right here. And then bam! Look, they just get hit just like that. You know, it's a bit unfair. I'd probably, or maybe even move that back, or maybe move the cannon back a block. You know what I mean? So, like, they have a bit more time to react, so I can keep the ice thing. Because I thought it was a cool idea, just having ice players maybe, like, slide into there. But it's whatever. That's kind of a cheesy way of killing people, too. I want people to not feel cheese when they die. I want people to kind of blame their own skill when they die, not really blame the level for, like, tricking them or something. So let's say you avoid this thing. This jump is kind of easy. And you can... This is a little weird. Now, earlier, when you were on the donut blocks... Hold on. And this, you kind of go against what you learned, which I'm not really proud of. So, you kind of delayed and you stalled for the right moment here. However, now, where you are up here, if you do the same thing, like this, you will get hit by this guy. Because whereas, like, Bill Blasters, they are very polite. Bill Blasters are very polite. They will cook you dinner, they will do your homework, they'll do your taxes. If you're right next to a Bill Blaster, it will not shoot. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're right next to a cannon, it will shoot. It will, like, destroy your dinner. It will make sure that your taxes are, like, triple the payment, alright, that you normally do. It's very mean, okay? It will just shoot. I might be wrong on that, but at least from me standing right here, it definitely seems like it's shooting. So you can't delay your fall here. You have to go. And that's just kind of annoying. Also, the burner just kind of comes out of nowhere. However, I don't think anyone's died on this yet. But you can be the first! So you fall down here. And this section is kind of awkward. You can kind of fall down here. You might, if you were astute enough, you might have been able to guess, yeah, there's an invisible block down there. And it's cool. And it's actually a pretty good invisible block. It's the only one that actually has, and by the way, that cannon is total, ugh, oh my gosh, it's so saucy. Look at this thing. You just, like, that's a little lucky, but imagine running by and you just, burn, just like that. I am sure people have died like that. I have seen X's there before. And by the way, what I mean by X's is, in Mario Maker, it represents any place that player has died. So, and everyone can see that, I'm pretty sure. Just in case you didn't know what those were and I was just saying nonsense. And that's annoying. I probably should have had this thing either not exist or facing forward. That's what I would change about that. Now, this section here is kind of cool. It's the same as the earlier one, except... Oh wait, no. The earlier one's reward was kind of cool, because there was a vine, and you were able to take an alternate path, which was way easier. So that was fine. But if you go up here, then... Voila! Look! Guys, look, it's an actual reward for players. Oh my gosh, it's a star. So you're able to go through here and you're able to say, you're able to say, screw all these obstacles, I don't need this. And you can just go through the whole section or whatever, go back down to that pipe. However, that is not what we're doing right now. I'm going to show you the rest of it too. Now, if you're going through regularly, you'll notice, hold on, let me pan the camera up to how it should be. There we go. So you come down here, let's say you avoid that. Let's say you're waiting right here. Now you can't see the ground down there. Now I would hope players would bring themselves down a level in order to see what's down there before they make a move. So they would, I would assume players would do this, where they would just stay on this guy and then just keep bouncing off of it. Now, for players that aren't super experienced in the way Mario World works, or the way that cannons work, they might be too scared to go on this. They might think, oh crap, if I go on that, I'm gonna die, because that's gonna hit me and then I'm dead. Or they might think, if I stay in here, oh yeah, look, it just shoots. They might think, oh, this might hurt me, or whatever. Like, it doesn't, or whatever, right? But like, I could totally see players like not wanting to stand here or stand here. So what someone might do is they might just do this. They might just run down, and then they might like run into a spike. They might run into a cannonball or whatever. So I feel like what I should have done is do something like this, like that. So players know it's totally safe to be here, and they could just wait here. Or they can, or I should have put a cloud there, you know, so players can just be like, oh, okay, I can just wait here as long as I want, and I can choose my path. I can choose to go the top path here, and then drop down, and then make a dash for it, or I can jump down here, jump, and then make a dash for it. Me personally, like when I went through my level, I did it like this. I stood here, and then I jumped into the one block part here. I waited for those two cannons down there to go. I dropped down, and then I went through here like that. Very easy. Now, here's another examples of these cannonballs being out of sync. Oh my gosh. Again, if I spawn regularly, they're all going to be in sync. It's beautiful. But because of the way that the camera was panning down in that last section here, they shoot. Look, now it's 3 and 1. So it's totally random every time. That frustrates the crap out of me. I hate it. I hate it so much. But and I'm going to have to change it. And I don't even know if I'm going to use cannonballs next time. And if I am, I'm going to have it so they're all on screen at the same time, so they fire the way I want them to. For example, I would place like a warp pipe right here, and then when you come out, then all the cannons fire at once. There is absolutely zero chance for any player having a unique experience with the cannons to make things difficult, if you catch my drift. So, let's just assume that the cannon layout isn't too bad and they all come out at once, or they're just like 2 and 2, which isn't that bad either. By the way, when I say that there's like a unique experience for the cannonballs, I think that's kind of cool in a sense, because it's like, hey, everyone kind of went through it in their own little way, but I also think it's kind of dumb because players can be left with things that I totally did not intend. So that's just kind of my take on that. So, let's see here. So let's say you got through this, there's a fire bar there. It's likely you won't get hurt by that unless you just whoosh and then you get scared and then jump up. One of my friends, he was share screening on Discord and I saw him do that. It was pretty funny, pretty funny. He's bad at the game, don't worry about him though. And we got these coins here, which isn't a big deal. So you hit the block and you go all the way back and now you can't go this direction anymore. But it's not like it matters because now you're going to go back to the section you were in when you first entered the pipe, which is here. And voila, I hope what I said earlier makes sense now. If there was a checkpoint here and then you died and then came back, then this is what would happen. Everything would be like this, and then you could just skip that pipe section up top. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I get worried that my explanations are either too bloated or just don't make much sense at all. Alright, so we'll go through this dotted line section here. And this is the mirrored portion of the very first part of the course I showed you, which feels very long ago for some reason. Whatever. Now, same kind of deal with the very beginning of this level. You'll go to the right and, oh, that's the goal over there. I just know it. But you have to go back over here. Now, this section is a little bit unfair. This is probably the most unfair section of the whole level. Not really a difficulty. I don't know if I'd call it the most difficult, but it's definitely the most unfair. Because if you thought that... Okay, well, let me just move back over here. Now, all the cannons over here shooting out of sync isn't really that big of a deal. Who cares? Like, whatever. This is easy to keep track of. Easy peasy, right? But the moment you move over here and those cannons are shooting cannonballs at double speed... Hold on, not like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when a regular player is going to come up like this. When they are shooting double speed and they are out of sync like this, or even when they're in sync, it's a little bit annoying. They're just going way too fast. Also, the red from the cannons, or the cannonballs, line up with the red from the dotted line blocks, which can be kind of annoying because it blends in, right? And that's bad game design. So I'd probably, at least for the middle ones, because these ones kind of cross. Here, let me show you. Look at you kind of see how the cannonball that's firing at me right now isn't real. It's kind of like crossing over in between the red blocks. So like you can see those coming, but look at the ones right here. They kind of go in between the red blocks, so it makes it a little bit hard to see, and that can be a little bit disorienting. Also factor in the fact that there's red here from the burners, and that can just make things a bit of a hassle to see these things, and it's just, wow. Also, I've seen people get sniped before, like right here. They think, oh, this is safe, right? Nope! Gosh, that's so bad. I feel so bad for anyone that's died there. Because again, they have to start all the way at the checkpoint from earlier, which is stupid. Even I've died there before, and I've made the level. Now this part is like the earlier part with the burners, where you got the, where you have to wait or whatever. And remember I was talking to you about the black burners? Well, this is what I'm talking about. This is how you make burners alternate from one another. So if I were to, oh my gosh. Alright, hold on, can I try this again? So if I were to, how do I switch between you? How do I make it so I want to, how do I make it, okay, is that how? Whatever. So look, if they're both the same color, then they both go at the same time. But if you make one a different color, the way that I had it before, I have absolutely, I am so sorry about that. I just don't use the Joy-Cons for this. That's the only way I was able to get this on my capture card. But if you do it like that, then it alternates. And I thought, hey, that was pretty cool. Makes it for a very intense moment where you have to whoosh, go through real quick, you know? And then there's the thwomp here that, again, I feel like blends in a bit. You kind of get my point. Because this whole section is reversed, it's going to go by a bit quicker, I promise, because I'm kind of repeating some of my stuff. Now, you can hit the P-swatch, you can hit the P-swatch block right here, and then try making your way down there as quickly as possible, or you can just pick it up, right? I don't force you either way, you have the choice, and you can just pick this up and go down there if you don't want to worry about any kind of loss of time. You can even wait here, and again, you can get cheesed here so easily. It's really annoying. You can memorize the placements, but I don't really expect people to get that on their first try. You can hit here, get the coins, and you don't exactly see what's down there besides the dotted blocks. And remember, those guys are merciless, so you could just, oh god, what do I do? And then you just run to the left or whatever. And instead of the bullet bills from before, we got these boys. Wait, did I? So it's not perfectly mirrored. Now, these guys being out of sync can be a real hassle. Like, if I were to, hold on, let me bring it back over here. Now, if I were to like go in like this. Okay, I guess it's just not that bad. Maybe it's because of how fast they're firing? Not exactly sure. Let me try this. See, if I spawn at the same time, then they go in a perfect wave like that. But if I were to not die there, if I were to go like this. Okay, whatever. Let's just assume that they're in optimal. Okay, yeah, like that. Look, if you move over here like this, and then you're like looking around, and you're like, oh, this setup looks pretty nice, huh? That's pretty cool. Okay, better give it my best shot. Oh, look what you did. Look, now it's all out of sync. It's actually kind of mesmerizing looking at it now because they're all like whoosh, 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 whoosh. Whatever. So let's say you have this crappy. No, I don't want that setup. Look, now look at what they're doing now. Oh my gosh, I can't stress how bad of a mistake it was to put these cannons in this level. I needed some way to make it so they always sync up, and next time I make a level, I am going to make sure of that. And I already have ideas for a level or whatever. But anyways, let's see. So you can kind of observe. Okay, let me just reset again. When I say reset, I mean reset my sentence or whatever. Now, like the original part of this section. This is the mirrored section, right? So this one's harder. This part here, you can observe your surroundings. It doesn't really matter. You can kind of get ready for the oncoming wave of, not bullet bills, but cannonballs. I was about to say bullet bills. And you can get ready, and you can start it, right? And it's gonna go out of sync again, yeah, because you went off screen, and they only shoot when you're on screen. So you can do it like this. You can wait up here if you want, or you can just go through the gauntlet the whole way through if you want. It doesn't really matter. This guy doesn't shoot backwards because they're cannons, but to compensate, I put another one on the other side. And it is entirely possible, I probably should change this in design, to just do this and then go like, oh crap, and then like you get stuck. Although part of me wants to chalk that up to the player's fault because they were rushing through it. Although I feel like I should have designed it in such a way that it didn't like kill the player, but it like punish them without having them to go back. Because remember, there aren't any mushrooms in this entire level. So like, it's way too harsh of a punishment to die here. It just kind of sucks. So I need them, dude. I need a mushroom in my next level. It's just bad how this. Okay, let's get through this part here so then I can get to the next section. All right, so right here, I expect people to just kind of wait and then whoosh. And this part of the level is frankly not that difficult, mainly because I take it easy on you. I'm like, you got through the hard part. You're good now, pretty much. And this part here is the part with the key. Now, if you had the key, then you would be able to go in here, and that would lead you all the way. I know the scrolling is really slow. To here, where you get 3 1-ups at the very beginning that you saw. Amazing reward, right? Wrong. 1-ups suck as a reward. I mean, look, have 3 1-ups, but don't do what I did. Like, having... How many 1-ups did I have? What was it, like 6? I think 6. 5, 6. It was one of those. Having said, it's just overboard. I should have put a mushroom in whatever. Like, the star I did from earlier was probably, like, the best reward that you got for doing anything extra, I feel. Or just the alternate pathway that I put earlier. It's whatever. And I have to do this section again, because the way that they design the on and off blocks is weird whenever you have to restart the thing. Okay, let me just... I need to put, like, a dev star here or something like that. Oh my gosh. Or just give myself one real quick. Nah, it's fine, it's fine. I'll just make it back. Oh. Okay. So, I think this section is cool because you're able to see the maze that you're going to go through before you have to go through it, so you can kind of prepare yourself, and you can wait as long as you want in order to prepare yourself. So I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. And I want to make a level that explores that idea more thoughtfully. So, we have this right here, which is like the bullet bills from earlier, which you can knock down. However, you can't knock these guys down because they're coming at them backwards. And this section is a bit more obvious. You don't run into the spikes, of course, that's a little bit dumb. You want to just go through the little hole there. And again, this part here, you might get stuck on if you don't know how to jump through the one block. Hold down the A button, right? Or just, please push me out, right? Or just jump when you're a little bit away from it. It doesn't really matter. You'll get through. I believe in you. This section's kind of like the other icicle section. Don't know why I put this ceiling here. It's a little annoying. I'm kind of frustrated with myself. I should have had some cool reward up there. It's whatever. And now we're kind of nearing the end of the level as I die. All you have to go is through... You just have to go through these burners. Oh my gosh. Let's just have to put another block here. I am not going to have the last part of this level be not what... whatever. Just forget I said anything. So, this is how it should be. Pretend this block isn't even here. We got the burners, and all you have to do, just time it well, and get sniped. No, you're good. And then that's the end of the level. Let's just pretend this isn't here, okay? That's not here. It's because I had to restart the thing. There's another 10 coin block, and that's it. Just like that. That's the entire level. I wish I could have had some more designs at this last section here, though, because all this is just a downward slope. It's just a complete reverse of everything else. So, let me, real quick, before I wrap this thing up, I'll show you the whole level just from the outer scope when I zoom out. It looked kind of cool. Like, I think it looks really cool when you zoom out like this. I wish I could have, like, not a poster of it or whatever. That's a bit conceited because the level isn't that good. I think it's pretty alright for a first level. And I think the idea could have used way more work, but I think it was pretty alright, you know? So here, let me go up to... Hold on. Let me move Mario up here. Oh my gosh. It's weird, because they only give you a pink platform if there's no ground below Mario, so I can only do it like this. Because there's a... This is technically ground, so I can't put Mario right here for an easier jump. So I have to, like, do this. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to zoom out in this portion. I really like some of the jumps I did here. This whole section... I love this whole section here, but I just wish I had more space, because a lot of these jumps are really tight, and they don't really give the player that much freedom, which is like the exact opposite of City Escape, which is what inspired me to make a level in the first place. In essence, I kind of made a level that I didn't want to make. Like, of course I love the mirror design, but the fact that players had to wait so wearily often is something I don't really like in games, and yet I went ahead and did something like that anyways to see if I could make a level where that mechanic would be fun. Was it fun? You know, it was alright. Like, you might enjoy this level. I don't think this is something that you're really going to remember, though. I have a feeling more of my future levels, which I am still going to post in the community tab on the channel, so feel free to stay updated on that if you want to see some more Mario Maker goodness. And hey, if you have a level, feel free to post it there too in response or something. I'll play it. You know, it'll be cool. I won't boo it, I swear, unless you have some hidden blocks, which would be very annoying. And I don't mean any troll levels that have... I'm kind of getting off topic, but real quick. If you have only hidden blocks and it's a troll level, I'll accept it. But if I'm playing a regular level and a random hidden block spikes me, I am booing your level. Alright? Oh, I'm glad we got that out of nowhere. Speaking of which, I apologize for this one here. I just had to do it. I had to do only one. Just one. Maybe. Again, I wish I could have had more than one checkpoint if they didn't really glitch on me or didn't function the way I wanted them to. I know there's a way I could have gotten it working, but, you know, I didn't want to spend too much time on this level. I'm gonna go back to the first section again, see if I have anything else left to say. Gosh, I wish I can scroll faster on this. Oh my gosh. I love the background here. Okay, the whole Mirror Manor thing, because it is called Mirror Manor, these look like little reflections. I wish there was some kind of way I could make it so Mario's design was on the... I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know Yoshi's Crafted World, how you can go on the opposite side of the level? You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could do that for this level, or if there was something in Mario Maker that allowed you to do that, where you can, like, enter a door and then the whole thing flips, or something. I don't know what I'm trying to describe. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. I don't think I can play this level in any other game style, because, whatever, I'm not really sure. That's kind of the gist of it. I'm proud of this level, and I'm pretty glad I made it, because it kind of helped me get into the mind of a game designer, and I'm sure this is how a lot of people feel when they start making Mario Maker levels. They're like, man, the people who make levels and, like, are good at them, props to them, because I have no clue how to do this, and that's kind of how I felt. So, it was one thing for me to analyze City Escape and the design there and explain what their thought process was, and it was another thing trying to implement my own thought process in making different pathways and stuff. So, that's kind of my whole gist. That was my analysis, things I wanted to change. I think I got to it all. So you can play the level, tell me what you guys think, and I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching.